Hey guys, so today I decided to do a video on what Kyle and I did last weekend. We went to Richmond and we went to Washington, D.C. It was a really cool weekend and we wanted to take you guys along with us. P.S. Sorry for the ugly horse picture behind me and this ugly chair. I am so sick of this hotel room. We are only going to be in it for a little while longer and then we'll be in our house in August. So just bear with us for a little while longer. On Saturday morning we decided to go to Richmond. We didn't want to go too far away, so we only went 30 minutes away to Richmond. They have a Holocaust museum there. That was really cool. It was really special to walk through and see all the steps that these people had to go through, all these horrible things that happened to these people. And it was really special for us to reflect on it and to just be grateful for the freedoms that we have today. We walked through and looked at pictures and videos and recreations of what it might have been like. I can't even imagine what they had to go through, and it still shocks me when I see the numbers of how many people died. I cried when I saw how many children had died, and it was just so alarming to see the numbers that high. I am so grateful for, and it just hits home for me because me and Kyle want to have kids, obviously, sometime soon, and just imagining them getting taken away from you and you don't know where they are, what's happening to them, it just is crazy to me to think about those poor fathers and mothers and all those people that had to go through the hardest thing I could ever dream of. So I'm just grateful for the freedoms that we have today, and I probably will say that 1,000 times in this video, because we just saw so many incredible things this weekend. It was cool to see some uniforms that the American soldiers were in, because Kyle was looking at them and seeing what the differences were like from his that he wears now, and seeing ones that were just like his grandfather's. So that was really cool to see.
Oh, I was just saying, this is the exact uniform that my grandfather wore in World War II. And it's the Rainbow Infantry, the exact infantry that he was.
See, I know all this stuff hits home with Kyle, especially since he is in the Army right now. So seeing what our soldiers had to go through, and soldiers around the world during the World War II and all the wars, it's really interesting to see how Kyle reacts and how interested he is in the things that they wore and the things that they used and all those little details that I don't pick up. After walking through the Holocaust Museum, you walk out and there's a boxcar that is the size and everything of what they were transported in. And this thing is only like 20 feet by 8 feet. It's just tiny. It's just a wood boxcar, and they would fit over 100 people in those, and it was not that hot of a day, but we walked through that thing and I was sweating for the 2 seconds I was in there, and it was just horrible. Anyways, I just cannot get over the pain and suffering that they had to go through, and I'm just so grateful for them, and I'm so grateful for the country that we live in today. It's just good for people to go see those museums and those pictures so that they can remember how great we have it today. After the museum, we went to lunch at a place called Burger Batch. Guys, this place was amazing. Seriously, I have never had a better burger. It was a gourmet burger place. Mine was on a brioche bun. It was caramelized onions, brie cheese, blueberry barbecue sauce with garlic aioli. Yes, what a dream, seriously. And then we got to pick a dipping sauce for our fries, and we picked pesto aioli. Oh my gosh, seriously, I just was licking the cup of the aioli sauce because I could not get enough of it. So that was way fun. And then the next day we went to Washington, D.C. This is what I do while he drives.
Less camera stuff. Focus on my neck.
No! They have to see what I have to do every time you drive.
Oh yeah,
Like your massage therapist. And we met up with some friends that I grew up with in Arizona. She was like an adoptive aunt of mine, so it was really fun to see them. We went to the Arlington Cemetery first, which is just crazy beautiful. It's 600 acres, which I didn't know that, but it was really amazing to see all the tombstones. When you walk into the visitor center, there's this statue sculpture of this soldier with his bugle, and he is playing taps. And so it reminded us of what Kyle did. He modeled for a sculpture of a Marine playing a bugle and playing taps, and he'll tell a little bit about that.
So we're at the Arlington National Cemetery, and we went through the building, and they had a bunch of like memorial pictures and history like that. And there's a sculpture in there. I don't even know what the sculpture's made of, but it's of a color guard soldier in the army playing taps on his bugle. And it reminded me of a year ago, a good friend of mine, Dion, who's a really good sculptor, chose me. She's working on a memorial piece of a Marine playing on the bugle taps, and I was selected a year ago, and last summer I had a model for this sculptor for like 2 months straight. Like I'd go in like 12 hours a week and things like that, and she did the exact thing with me. She sculpted out of clay, and it was like so detailed and perfect. So it was kind of cool to see that here. It just reminded me of that.
So that's super cool. I'm excited. We get a 3-foot statue of that ourselves, and I can't wait to show you guys that once we get that. We walked around Arlington Cemetery, saw how beautiful, and it was just really great to walk through, just being quiet and taking in all that we were seeing. We went to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, which was also really special, and I just saw Kyle just so entranced with everything that they did. Then we watched the changing of the soldiers, and they had to check how clean their gun was, how clean their uniform was, because this is one of the highest honors you can have as an infantry soldier. So it was just amazing to see that, and I know Kyle just loved every second of it. It's so special that as a country we decided to honor those who were unknown. We didn't know who their families were or where they came from. So I'm so glad that we still honor those that got their family and loved ones, and they heard back from them and heard that they were just missing. I hope that they take this as a comfort, because imagining Kyle and something happening to him and they don't know where he is or his body, I just can't even imagine. So I'm really glad that we honor those who died, even if we don't know exactly where their home was. My favorite part of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier is what it says on the front of it. It says, "Here rests in honored glory an American soldier known but to God." I just think that is so beautiful, and I'm grateful for a Heavenly Father who does know each one of us, and those men and women do not go unloved and unnoticed, because God knows exactly who they are, and I'm glad that we can remember them and that we do this special ritual to honor them every second of every day. After that, we went to lunch, we walked around the National Mall, we saw all of the memorials, the Lincoln, the Vietnam Memorial, which was beautiful, and it was so cool to see all the American flag bows that were lining the ground and all the people laying flowers down. It was just really beautiful to see. Then we walked over to the Korean War Memorial, which I had never seen before, but that one is just beautiful with all the soldiers that were walking through the swamps, and they have bushes and all these different little things that really look like what these guys had to go through. And at the end, there's a giant flag that the soldiers are kind of walking towards, and it's just a really cool memorial. So that is it on the video. I hope you guys liked those clips, and I hope you guys liked seeing what we did this past weekend. It was a really special weekend to take time to remember all those that had to suffer and die so that we could be free today. And I am just grateful for Kyle that he chose to serve, and I just really love this country. So we will see you guys in our next video. Comment, like, subscribe. Tell me if you guys have ever been here to Washington, D.C. Tell me what you guys have done here, and I would love to hear all that. So I love you guys, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye!